Buddy. It is so good to be here with you today. We are going to sing our first hymn, Where Do We Come From, together to get in our bodies and get grounded. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit as you are able in joining me. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going?
Welcome to Sunday morning at First Unitarian. My name is Reverend AJ. I use he and him pronouns, and I'm one of the ministers that serves this congregation. Here, this congregation, of course, church is not an hour on Sunday. It is not a building. It is a people with a purpose. And our mission here at First Unitarian is that through spiritual connection in community, we listen deeply to others and ourselves. We open to wonder and transformation, and we serve together with love and humility. If you are here for the first time or the first couple times, please do connect with us at the welcome desk. We'd love to get to know you a little bit better and help you get connected here. If you are here because you are going through a hard time or you are worried about somebody else who is, please don't hesitate to connect with our Pastoral Care Associate who is on duty this morning. We've got Jane is there in the back wearing a stole. You can connect with her during or after the service or anytime this morning. A couple of exciting announcements. First, welcome to this Sunday. This is our Bridging Sunday service, so we're very excited to celebrate our graduating seniors from high school. Also coming up this week in the life of our larger faith movement is the big annual General Assembly. It's our annual business meeting of all the congregations coming together. It's a time for workshops and worship and shared learning and shared community in the sort of largest scale gathering of Unitarian Universalists. It's all virtual this year, and so a lot of things are, some things are accessible only if you are registered for it, but some things are open and accessible to the whole public, including those business meetings, which are not as boring as they sound, I promise you. But we will be having events here at First Unitarian and at First Universalist for folks to gather for watch parties for General Assembly. So if that is something you're interested in, what does Unitarian Universalism look like outside the Rochester area and in the larger national contexts, please come to one of those and get a taste. I also want to announce that UU Wellspring is returning again next year. I'm co-facilitating a course of UU Wellspring, our intensive spiritual deepening program. There's a new curriculum out in relation to a lot of the work that's happening at that denominational level to update and articulate our UU principles, our UU values, and so this new course is called Love at the Center. So if you are new-ish to Unitarian Universalism and you're ready to go even deeper into UU identity and spirituality, UU Wellspring is a great course to participate in. If you are someone who's been here for 10, 15, 20 or more years and you've done all the Wellspring things, you have not done this course. And so it might be a great opportunity to get back into Wellspring and to explore our UU values and theology even more deeply. With those announcements taken care of, I want to invite us into a breath or whatever helps you center. We acknowledge with respect the Seneca Nation, the keepers of the Western Door, and part of the Haudenosaunee people on whose ancestral and contemporary lands First Unitarian now stands. And I invite us to begin our worship by lighting the chalice. Ethan one of our bridgers, will light the chalice for us this morning. If you have one with you at home, please light one as we say our unison words. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift.
All right, please stand in mind, body, or spirit in joining me singing Love Will Guide Us. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, good morning. My name is Meredith Mazur, and I'll be one of the 4 seniors that are bridging today. I wanted to share a story with you all about my life here at church. I've been here all my life since I was 5 years old. And as I got older for a long time, I realized that my family was one of the only biracial families here at the church. For a long time, I felt like I didn't fit in. Why is there no one else who looks like me? I felt like I wasn't accepted here. So I stopped attending church for a little while. That's when Sheila helped me. She wanted me and my family back at the church, so she gave me a job here, childcare. At first, I was really shy and quiet, coming out of COVID. I was in my little cocoon. But as time went on, I saw how much more diversity came into this church. And I felt accepted and welcomed. I felt like I could be my authentic self. Even if I wasn't ready to be like that at school or anywhere else, I could be that here. And that's why I come to church. So I'm going to ask you to turn to your neighbor and give them a greeting.
Awesome. My name is Necole Almond, and I'd like to invite the children, or the young at heart, to come forward for a time for all ages. Come on. They're so shy this morning, Sarah. We got one.
It's your last chance,
Yay.
Bridgers.
Awesome. Yay. How lovely to see your faces this morning, all of you. Today I have an important message for you. And when I say it, you might think, what does that mean? Or, no, not me. Or, yes, I believe that's true. Or even, how would you know? You don't know me, right? But I do know this. You are a blessing. And how do I know that you are a blessing? Because it's true about each and every one of us. You are a blessing, and you are a blessing, and you are a blessing. And do you know who else is a blessing? I am a blessing. And do you know who else is a blessing? Yep. Each and every one of them is a blessing too. And you might be wondering, because I know how smart you are, if each of us is a blessing, then being a blessing must not be that important. And that is where you would be very, very wrong. Each of us is a blessing, and our blessings mean everything. And not only are you a blessing, and you a blessing, and me a blessing, life is a blessing. It doesn't always feel that way. Life can be really hard, especially as you're growing. Our feelings get hurt. Sometimes our bodies get hurt in big and small ways. We lose things. We lose people. And life can be hard. But even when we are living through our hardest moments, sometimes, out of nowhere, we come across a beautiful flower. We see a beautiful cloud in the sky. The sunshine warms our faces. Or we find ourselves laughing with someone we love, or with some new friends. I wonder if you can think of a person in your life who is a blessing. Can you think of somebody? What was that? Your dad? I heard dad. My mom. Anybody else? I invite everybody to think of somebody in your life who might be a blessing. Hold it in your heart for a few moments. Speak it into the universe. And now take a deep breath together. Life is full of blessings. I hope all of you will remember that you are one of those blessings. And feel free to find a moment in your day to remind someone that you love that they are a blessing in your life as well. May this story unfold in your heart until we meet again.
Recessional. We bless you on your journey through, from sheltering arms to the wide sky blue, in your joyful jumps and your sad times too. You bless us by being you. We bless you on your journey through, from sheltering arms to the wide sky blue, in your joyful jumps and your sad times too. You bless us by being you.
invite us now into a time of meditation, reflection, and prayer, beginning with shared silence held in this sanctuary and beyond our walls. I invite you now into your own breath. Great mystery which grounds us and surrounds us. Divine presence known by many names and in many ways. Great nurturing Spirit. This morning we give thanks for fathers and all who father, in all the beautiful and diverse forms of gender experience and expression it can take in parenting, in all the ways that people lay claim to fatherhood or rework the inherited understandings of what it must mean into what it could mean to father, all the reshaping of what it means of who is to father. We pray for strength and vision for all who strive to parent in ways that were not modeled to them, to undo the culture of toxic masculinity that withholds authentic affection, and to reweave instead relationships of parenting, accountability, and support rooted in love and affirmations of every kind. And we hold tenderly in love those in our community and those parts of ourselves for whom this day honoring fathers brings with it painful memories or painful absences. This morning, as we celebrate those youth bridging into adulthood, we are mindful of the joy and the weight of that transition, knowing that, like fatherhood and all other relational roles we hold, adulthood is an unfolding which takes place over many different moments, many instances of growth and realization, never fully complete perhaps, but always emerging and being discovered. We honor the process of growth and change today, of independence and self-differentiation, and we honor too the bittersweet grief that may be held as relationships shift and change over time as they must. Over time, and as well as in sudden instances of change. Children become adults who may no longer live at home. Babies are born, throwing lives into whole new rhythms and realities. Parents begin to age and may need to be cared for more by their children than the other way around. Loved ones die and leave us with grief for the loss and gratitude for the love and presence they had with us. In awe and wonder at all the varied permutations of life and the types of relationships that constitute the very being of the interconnected web of existence, we give thanks for this beauty this morning. We acknowledge the loss and the change, and we commit ourselves anew to the growth and transformation inherent in what it means to be a living, growing person, a living, growing community, a living, growing planet. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. We enter now into ritual to bring what is on our hearts and to lay it on the altar of community and spirit. Honoring the complexities of life, I invite you to bring to mind whatever that grief or that growth or that gratitude that is most present with you in your heart this morning. Online, you are invited to share what that is in the chat, and here in the sanctuary, you are invited forward to light a candle at one of our altars. If you would like an usher to bring a candle to you, please simply raise your hand. May we now share in this ritual of community care and witness to one another's hearts. All that we hold in our hearts for ourselves, for each other, and for the world is held in this loving community and by a larger love that will not forsake us ever. Blessed be. Amen.
connection. This is a large congregation, as you may have noticed, and for me, the conversations I have with congregants is an opportunity to get to know people I already know better and to meet many of you really for the first time. Our approach to stewardship is to reach out and ask for conversations in person, over Zoom, on the phone, whatever works best for you, with the idea that stewardship is a chance to learn more about why we come to church and what we look forward to in the future. This year, I had wonderful experiences chatting at Connections, meeting for lunch, and connecting virtually. One congregant that I did not know fairly well actually invited me over and surprised me with a meal. We had a delightful conversation, sharing our stories of what brought us to Rochester, her from another part of the world, me from, well, Boston, which is another part of the world, and also what brought us to First Unitarian, and what a joy it is to us, and how important it is as a place in our lives. And for her, it was an opportunity, I think, for her to meet someone in the congregation and get her to get to know better, but also to think about what are ways she could connect more broadly than just being here on Sundays. So it was an enriching experience for both of us. Now, I can't promise you'll always get a meal, but I can say your fellows will be very, very open to speaking with you and often delighted to have the chance to share. For me, stewardship is about much more than money, although that's important, and it's also important that we are able to talk about it. But what really is important is this opportunity to practice the spiritual practice of being a steward of this sacred institution, not just the walls, but the work of the church and all of us. Father's Day is all about being a father, and the children are entrusted to our care as a father. The word steward actually means to help support something that's entrusted to your care. This is all entrusted to our care. And to preserve that legacy, we have the opportunity to work together to learn more about each other. And in so doing, I invite you to be part of our team in the fall. Thank you. And continuing on in the spirit of generosity, each week, is it still on? Oh, you like that transition? That was good. So continuing on in the spirit of generosity, each week at First Unitarian, distinct from our annual pledge, we share a plate collection for both the work of this church, but also the important work that's done by others in the world. And today we share our plate with DRUM, D-R-U-U-M-M, which is Diverse Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries. DRUM is an anti-racist collective of Unitarian Universalists of color in congregations across our faith, united to work for self-determination, justice, and equal opportunity, empower various ministries, celebrate diverse heritages, overcome racism through resistance, and transform and enrich Unitarian Universalism through multicultural experiences. So if, like me, you feel that it's important our denominations stand up and do more to link arms with those who are people of color within our midst and support them as Unitarian Universalists, please give generously. You have many options. You can use a website, Venmo, QR code, offering boxes. You have the QR code. Is it on the screen? If not, you have the opportunity to go on to rochesterunitarian.org and find it. With that, in the spirit of abundance and generosity, the offering will now be gratefully received.
Lying all alone, I'm thinking, staring at the stars. I wonder, since you've been away, I'm lonely when I'm gonna go back home. Walking through the world, things happen right before your eyes. Things happen, soon enough you're lost and thinking when I'm gonna go back home. Oh me, oh my, time goes someone's gonna say, all right, son, take a train and go back home. Hop a freight and go back home.
As many of you know, this is my first Father's Day as a father.
Woo!
Little Hazel is 5 months old at this point, which is a little hard to believe. And the one brag I'll sneak in to this is that at just over 5 months old, she's almost 20 pounds already. So we're very happy with the progress that's being made. Having reproduced recently, even as the parent who didn't miraculously grow a whole new person inside of themselves and then give birth, but still, this whole experience has been powerful in many ways, and it has firmly solidified my belief that I already held, that only people who are 100% enthusiastic and committed to the process of pregnancy should be pregnant. And anybody who does not want to be in that condition should not have to be. And I want to be clear that I'm speaking even specifically about pregnancy here, the 9 months before letting alone becoming a parent, which is an intense and lifelong commitment, but happens without pregnancy all the time. And also, pregnancy does not necessarily lead to parenthood either. So that is an important commitment and is a different thing. And I'm also speaking very specifically about those 9 months, not just the birth itself, although that is an intense and miraculous feat of the human and really animal body. I mean just the condition of being pregnant and the range of experiences that can evolve and how it can unfold. For my wife, Ada, it was characterized pretty quickly by debilitating sickness well beyond the expected morning sickness, leading to extreme dehydration, and culminating at the end of things with very high blood pressure and a diagnosis of preeclampsia at 37 weeks, leading to an induced labor. She is much better, and the blood pressure is all under control, and baby, as I said, and wife, my mother, are happy and healthy, so no worries there. But I share this story, my slice of experience and her slice of experience about it, just to point out that the state of pregnancy can play out in many ways, many unpredictable ways, many ways that are not necessarily what the person even wanting the pregnancy wanted it to turn out to be. And so limitations on what kind of health care is permitted by the state, such as abortion, but including other things, these limitations only serve to hamper the proper administration of health care to pregnant people, resulting in worse physical, emotional, and even financial health of families and individuals. Now, I was raised by a good goddess-fearing, goddess-worshiping, abortion access-defending, feminist as hell, Unitarian Universalist mother, so I was strongly pro-choice before this experience, but I'm even more so now. And my Unitarian Universalist faith and my Unitarian Universalist community asks me not to focus on just a single issue like abortion access, as if it could be plucked out of the context of society in which it exists. Rather, I am constantly challenged to see the bigger picture of how all things are interconnected, interdependent, and intertwined. Which is why, beyond just a framework of abortion access or reproductive choice or rights, our larger faith movement has moved into adopting the framework of reproductive justice. Now, I mentioned General Assembly, that big annual gathering and annual meeting of Unitarian Universalists across the country and even the world. In 2015, at that year's General Assembly, a statement of conscience was edited, adopted, and passed after 4 years of study on the issue, and it articulated reproductive justice, which addresses a wide range of reproductive and non-reproductive topics. So originally articulated by women of color in the mid-90s to center the experience of the most vulnerable and to bridge the gap between reproductive rights and other social justice movements, the term and the concept of reproductive justice covers at least 4 things. 1 is the human right to have children. 2, the right to not have children. 3, the right to parent the children that one has in healthy environments. And 4, the safeguard of bodily autonomy and the expression of one's sexuality freely. So it is about the biological process of pregnancy, birth, and reproduction and the medical health care that is necessary to support those processes. But it is also about the human-made processes which prevent or abort pregnancy. Even more, it's about the social and economic environments in which parents raise children, however they come to be a family together. And it's about bodily autonomy, freedom, and the authentic expression of human sexuality, whether or not reproduction happens to be part of its purpose. Our faith declares, as was said in the Time for All Ages in many ways, and a different way of saying it is that each night a child is born is a holy night. Each and every child is a blessing, as each and every one of you is a blessing, and everyone in the world. And anything that helps us to lead healthy, self-determined lives is a blessing. And so abortion is a blessing. Birth control is a blessing. Prophylactics are a blessing because these are all tools that we use as humans to enable healthy relationships, healthy and consensual sexual activity, healthy and autonomous reproductive choices. And as our faith declares that these technologies and rights are blessings, so too are we called to take action to defend and promote them. Which is why I am very proud of the work that our church has been doing to organize around reproductive justice, and I'm thrilled to announce that the newest official social justice ministry of First Unitarian is our reproductive justice ministry. I say new because it's newly organized and reformed, but it really builds on a centuries-long legacy here at First Unitarian, in many ways going back to Susan B. Anthony and the women's suffrage movement, weaving through 1930s birth control activism, and more recently, this work took the form of the Reproductive Rights Task Force that was operative for decades here and resulted in the spinning out of Connect and Breathe, a nonprofit that offers a non-judgmental after-abortion talk line for people who need it. Yes. And so this new ministry is just the latest iteration of this long-standing work, now intentionally grounded in the intersectional framework of reproductive justice and grounded too in a praxis of partnership with local organizations like Planned Parenthood of Western New York and ROC-SRJ, or Rochester Sexual and Reproductive Justice. The impetus for this renewed organizing, as you might guess, was the Supreme Court decision 2 years ago that overturned the Roe v. Wade decision, the national right to an abortion, and unleashed a torrent of regressive laws in states across the country, threatening things not only access to abortion, the technology that ends pregnancies that need to end, but also access to in vitro fertilization, a technology that helps many couples and individuals reproduce when they otherwise couldn't. So if you're inspired to get involved in this work and this fight in the local and national and state scenes, please join us during Connection after worship. The Reproductive Justice Ministry I'll be with them, and we'll be diving deeper into UU theologies of reproductive justice, and we'll be writing postcards to get out the vote. Because of course, this is a very big election year in many ways. I won't need to go into all the ways, but one effort in the state context is the Equal Rights Amendment to the New York State Constitution. This amendment is not only important for reproductive justice, but would also explicitly prohibit discrimination by the government based on a person's ethnicity or national origin, age, disability, and sex, including sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression, in addition to pregnancy and pregnancy outcomes. So this is something that is not currently enshrined in our state constitution, and we think should be, and so we're part of the effort to promote these values and enshrine them in state law, in the state constitution. Now, I bring all of this up on this Sunday that includes our Bridging Sunday, our Bridging ritual, Because as we mark this transition of these young people into independent adults, I want to emphasize 2 points. One is that those of us who have been adults for a while now, we have been and are constantly co-creating the society that our young people are inheriting through our daily actions as well as our participation in local, state, and federal democracy. And so it is imperative that we use our efforts and our democratic engagement to defend and strengthen the rights of all peoples, of all genders, of all, and protect the rights and access and technology available for safe and healthy sexual and reproductive lives, so that the world the next generation inherits is that much safer and more full of flourishing potential. The second is a charge more specific to the bridgers, that you are bridging into adulthood in a time and into a society where there are some very real fights taking place over the values and character of our country and the states within it. And you are, just as every person is, far more powerful than you realize in this moment. And you are more powerful when you are organized and working together. So as you move into the next chapter of your life, bring your values and your beliefs with you. Find your friends and allies. Bring your Unitarian Universalism with you, and there will be more than enough opportunities to change the world simply by living your values. Here ends the homily, but now we turn to the work of bridging and the exciting rite of passage itself. While sadly Amanda couldn't be with us here today due to her continued sickness, she is on the mend and feeling better and will return soon. She did prepare some words that she wanted shared, and so I will read these now for our bridgers and for everyone. Today, when we recognize our senior youth as they move on to the next stage of young adulthood, as we acknowledge this important time in their lives, we also get to celebrate the blessing it has been to have them among us. When a child is born into a family, we know that we have been blessed. Similarly, we are blessed as a spiritual community by the children growing up among us. They bring their joy, their tears, their questions, their challenges. They invite us to play, to grow, to stretch. They challenge us to be brave, to be tender, to try new things. Maybe most importantly, they invite us to remember our own tender childhoods, and they help us stretch our concept of what adulthood could be, maybe a little more fun. Each of the bridgers with us today has grown up at First Unitarian. First Unitarian is part of their foundation. We hope that we have been able to teach them something life-giving about what it means to be a people of faith, a people of conscience, and committed to building beloved community. We hope that they will remember and find Unitarian Universalism wherever they go, especially if they are feeling lonely or in need. And we promise to welcome them home here with open arms whenever they are able to return to this place, their original faith home. Thank you, Amanda, for writing and sharing those words. So now I'm about to invite the bridgers up, and also want to name that we had planned to have some small gifts to provide you, a ceramic chalice and a copy of Becoming, a Spiritual Guide for Navigating Adulthood from the UUA bookstore. But of course, Amanda has those gifts, so we will get those to you all over the next couple of weeks. But now I want to invite up our bridgers to share their name, a memory, or something that they learned from First Unitarian, and what is next for them. Bridgers? And I'll invite them to remain up on the chancel with us.
Hey everybody, I'm Ethan, and probably my favorite memory from growing up at church was the overnight we did in coming of age with the people I've known forever, really kind of just having fun with them and learning too. And what my plans for next year are, I'm going to Geneseo studying mathematics.
Hi, my name is Sasha. My some of my favorite memories from church are doing catharsis in youth group because it's a lot of fun. And I'm really grateful for the community that I can always come to here at church. And next year, I'm planning on studying music therapy at Fredonia.
Hi, my name is Necole Almond. One of my favorite memories is going through the garden with the kids from childcare, and I'll be going to Howard University next year for environmental science.
Hi, my name. Oh my gosh. Hi, my name is Meredith Mazur. One of my favorite memories is spending Christmas Eve here at church with the candle lighting all around the wall. And I'm going to Brockport for education.
I'll also name that not present with us this morning, but also bridging and in this stage of life are Robert Dorso and Wyatt Pinto. So now I'm going to invite up, we've got our youth, our bridgers on this side. I'm going to invite up our young adults to join us on the other side of the stage so that we can begin to create the bridge that that our bridgers will set out upon. And welcome up. These are members of our young adult group, and anyone who's, between the ages of 18 to 35-ish who would like to come up and be part of welcoming our new adults is also welcome to come up and join us. And we've got one young adult who would like to offer a few words on behalf of the young adults to the bridgers. Yes.
Hi, I'm Casey Boyack. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a young adult member of this church. Just a year ago, I was standing where you are now, and I'm excited to welcome you to the young adult group. This transition is a big one. It comes with new responsibilities and new freedoms, but you don't need me to tell you that. I'm sure you've already started to feel the gradual shift into adulthood. This bridging may not feel like a step taken over a solid line, but a marker in the long, perhaps even lifelong journey of growing up. Still, it is a significant step, as well as a celebration of how far you've come and of all the possibilities that lie ahead. As you grow into greater independence, I urge you not to isolate yourself. Our larger culture depicts adulthood as pure self-sufficiency, but real maturity is knowing when to ask for support and guidance. You are not alone in this transition, and your community is here for you. Lean on it when you need it. We all can't wait to see where you go from here.
Thank you, Casey. Now, before we move into the bridging itself, where I will need some help from the congregation, I have a final blessing to offer in the words of Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. Now, this is a blessing for you, the bridgers, as you are each a blessing. It is a blessing for all gathered and really a blessing for the world. This is Choose to Bless the World by Rebecca Parker. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, to bind up wounds, to welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. Any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer this question. What will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. Now, for the bridging ritual. Because blessing is not the work of a single person, it is not restricted to ordained religious professionals or those who have had ecstatic revolutions of the heart. It is the work of each and every one of us in whatever state we find ourselves in this morning, and it is the work of a whole community. So I invite the congregation to rise as you are willing and able. For those of you in the aisles, please reach out with your arms towards the other person on the other end of the aisle to create a covered bridge, because that is the kind of bridge that we can create. And if you are not quite on the edges, you can reach out and reach your arms out to offer blessing to our bridgers as they will pass through the bridging. And now, with music, I will invite our bridgers to bridge and join the young adults on the other side. You stay here. Yeah.
Stay standing in celebrating the bridge and this celebratory transition, singing "Whoa, ya, ya." We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within. And we will get there, heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within. And we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, ya. Whoa, ya, 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 ya.
Thank you and congratulations. You may return to your seats. And thank you, Katya and Joe, for bringing such wonderful music to our service this morning. Church continues after worship. We have a couple connections that you are invited to engage with after worship. We have a climate adaptation / resilience guided walk of our grounds. That'll be gathering in the Susan B. Anthony Lounge and then going for a walkabout. Or for another kind of outdoor experience, Pokemon Go on the grounds is going to be starting in Williams Gallery and then also going out. So you may cross each other's paths as you are out on the grounds. The young adult group is meeting in the Thoreau Room and, of course, welcomes the Bridgers to join them. And as I said, the Reproductive Justice Ministry will be talking theology and writing postcards. Please join me in the words to extinguish our chalice. Necole, would you extinguish? Thank you. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Beloveds, may you discover your gifts and choose to bless the world with them, bringing greater justice into this world, greater connection, and greater love, always. May it be so, and blessed be.